you knew this video was coming.
Traptendo.
What is going on, guys? So today I am checking out Hive 2.0, which is an upgrade from the recent versions of Hive. I want to let people know off rip that you can upgrade for $30, and that's if you bought it before January 19th. If you bought it after the 19th of January 2019, that means this update is 100% free, so check that out. The link will be in the description box, and I'm going to weigh in on my review of this. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on this, guys, so calm down. I'm not going to go over all the intricate features, but if the engagement of this video is high enough and the comments are asking for it and the likes are there, then yes, I will deep dive into it a whole lot further. So with that, we're going to check out the first track that I made with this.
Traptendo.
So the first improvement, the GUI. Not much has changed aesthetically outside of the fact that it's easier to read, and this skin is a whole lot better to understand the functionality of it, as the oscillators are highlighted in gray, and then all of your modulation, your movement, and all that is in this white or light gray. And then you have your keyboard and then your mod matrix over here, which we're going to get into that a little later. What I will do is compliment them on the other thing that they do. They provide you with a ton of presets. And we know that there are a lot of people out there that may not want to make their own sounds. This is provided for you. So let's go ahead and take a tour of those sounds now. Got a bass here. Go a little lower. Oof. and in himself designed that one, so I expect nothing but the best from that guy. Howard Scar stuff. You'll find that a lot of these sounds have modulation to them, so you can use the mod wheel with a lot of these sounds. They are very, very heavy on that, or when it comes to sound design over there. Give me that Pierre Bourne stuff. Hey, let's hear some of that modulation. There's a tag system as well, and what you could do here is select things from their certain categories. You know, if you want to look up pads, you just click on the pads there. If you want airy pads, it'll pull up airy pads. It just makes things a lot easier to search in that regard. So, you know, you can just go and do as much as possible when you want to get a certain vibe out of your music. So that's really good. So now for more of the sound designing stuff, because I definitely want to talk about the sound design choices. So what I'm going to do is go to local, I'm going to go to user, and I'm going to go over here to initial, and initial will make a sawtooth sound like usual. Now I'm going to exit out of presets here, and now I'm going to talk about some of the main features. So one of the things I'll do like is there is an undo and redo button. So if there is something that you do along the lines of your sound design that you don't like, you have a chance to undo it. Or if you did something and you might have accidentally did something wrong or whatever the case may be, you can redo as well. Oscillator section has seen much improvement. Not that it needed that in the first place, but it's just really good, the fact that now you have many different things that you can do, from wavetable synthesis and messing with a whole bunch of wavetables all together, as well as add samples inside of Hive 2. Oh my god! But that is the most exciting thing about Hive 2. I mean, they keep things simple, and for that, it makes good on things like CPU efficiency. Don't get it twisted though, because Hive 2 and Hive 1 could be very CPU extensive depending on how many effects that you add and how much modulation you add. That's pretty much the story for any soft synth, is to the limitations of your computer that you have at home. So one of the bigger selling points of the original Hive during the renaissance of soft synths was the fact that you can do drag and drop modulation. It was one of the few plugins that could do that at its time. So what I want to do is show you how to do it. So first you just go over here to your mod matrix and go over here where it says none, and then select a source. So then you have your LFO. And now that you see, the LFO is modulating the cutoff. And from there, you could just do a whole bunch of things as well. So if I wanted to go and just play something really simple here. One of the new features is the shape sequencer, in which you can draw in different shapes, like the name suggests. So you can do anything over here in the segment envelopes. And this adds all kinds of possibilities for your modulation, and you can go and continuously draw whatever you want here. This particular area right here is called the 4 lanes, which is lanes A, B, C, D, which are associated with, you know, how you want them to activate. So if you would select certain ways to do that, then you will see that it will activate different kinds of modulation. So let's go over here to the shapes over here where it says shape A, and then we're gonna assign that to the LFO. Another hallmark of this synthesizer is the synth engine itself, as it has the clean version of a sound, a normal sound, and then a dirty sound. Another thing I want to point out here is the sound effects themselves. You can initiate them by hitting on the sound that you like. You also can rearrange them. And you can adjust things like reverb, delay. So let's add the delay. And like all effects, they add on to the CPU, but they also add on to the character of the sound that you are making. You also have a helpful scope here if you really want to see how everything sounds like. You can also freeze it. And you also can choose on how fast and slow it dissipates. And all those things add to the CPU, of course. I saw a comment on my IG about the best arpeggios. Now, if there's one thing that DJ Mcree knows about, it is arpeggios and what synthesizers have the best ones, and Hive ranks amongst the best. Now, I only say this because I played with this feature right here, which allows you to record stuff, and you can record whatever you want just by going over here and playing on your actual keyboard here. So let's go ahead and play maybe a C# minor scale in there or something. Now let's play it back. And of course, you can adjust the speeds of the sequencer itself. Time based, so let's go ahead and go to like 1/4. So as you can see, you get a lot. You get a lot out of that. And the reason why I praise this arpeggio step sequencer so much is because of that feature, and it just speeds up the workflow of a sound designer, as well as doesn't limit your creativity to something maybe that you might be tone deaf to, but you're used to playing it on the keyboard. So you get a lot of options to play with, and it makes it that much easier for you to create sounds. Everybody wants easier. Now, there is one thing that I would like to comment on as far as a future update. I would like to focus the arpeggio on either oscillator 1 or either oscillator 2. Perhaps you can do that now, but I'm looking at it, it doesn't look that way. And also, you do have sequencer presets that you have, not many, but you also can save your step sequencer presets as well once you're done, so you can actually apply them to something else. However, I would like to be able to assign like oscillator 1 the arpeggios, and then on oscillator 2 something else. So tell me how you feel about it. I don't want to be biased or anything, but I really like this plugin. It's very hard to find anything to complain about. I mean, the pros of it outweigh the cons. If there was any cons that I could pull out about it, perhaps if the con is maybe if you have an old computer, you can't pull up that many of them, and that is something that U-He has worked on for quite a while. That's the main selling point of Hive, is that it is CPU efficient. Around the time that Hive had came out, there was a lot of plugins that was chugging the hell out of computers in 2014. So with this is still good regarding of that. My only wish that I hope is that you'll be able to assign arpeggios to whatever oscillator that you choose. I think that will open up the possibilities of any sound designer out there. Help me out, Howard Scar. Help me out, Kevin Schroeder. I know you guys watch this channel. Please let your Hickman know, or I will let him know in the nicest way possible, of course. Anyways, do I get this a stamp of approval? Come on, bro. Yeah.